Alright guys, so after watching the video on the hero's journey and sort of how each hero becomes a hero or a villain, I want you to think about, your origin story, right? So the reason why we sort of relate to heroes is because we can relate to their origin story. The difference is that obviously when we watch movies, they have superpowers and everything like that. But now that you sort of thought about your story, think about if you were creating a comic book, what would be your beginning? What would be the origin story that makes you become a superhero? And with that in mind, you can start creating a comic book using Canva. So I'm going to show you how to use Canva in a brief video. And I'm using the hero's journey, which is an Easter egg for you all. You're going to learn about that later on in the semester. But for now, I just want to show you how to create a quick little comic book using Canva. So as you can see, I've sort of started here a little bit. You can go to Elements, and I just typed in comic book template, and I dropped it in. Once you drop it in, you can make it as big as you need to and sort of play with the elements that way. And just use your imagination to kind of make your own story. So I'll show you here what I did, right? So I'll drop in just this graphic here. I typed in comic book template up top. I'll drop it. You'll see it come in black. You can come up here to this circle and just change the color. And again, just kind of play with it and use your imagination. And then I might, say like superhero and see what comes up, and then just kind of play with the elements. I might put them here and then just do my thing. Or if I want to add sort of comic book captions, I might go here and drop them in there as well. Okay, and then just like I said, use your imagination. Another option, obviously if you're artistically inclined, this tutorial is kind of silly. Just do your best and use your imagination to tell a story. But if you're not artistically inclined, one thing that you can do, but it might require you to think about your story and develop it before you actually do this, is, I don't know if the school has this feature, but I've been playing with this feature a lot lately. It's Canva AI. And so I asked Canva AI. So if you notice, I did all the work. I told it the story I wanted to tell. I gave it the dimensions to create a slide. So 16 by 9 is sort of your basic presentation format, and then I gave it all the story. So I did all the work. I'm just asking it to make it into a visual representation. So I put it on Canva AI, and it's very basic because I'm just doing this on the fly. But here I have my title slide. I have sort of the origin story. So the origin story here is his grandpa was a big role model in his life, and something happened to grandpa, and that's why he became a superhero. And so as you work on this, think about direct and indirect characterization. So for example, when we watch a movie and Spider-Man is swinging from building to building, that's direct characterization, because even though Spider-Man is doing that, the writer wrote that as a direct characterization of what he does, who he is, and what he looks like. Indirect characterization is when another character tells you about the superhero or tells you about the main character. So for example, like if you watch Superman or the old Superman cartoon, you'll hear them say, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. That is indirect characterization because other characters are sort of showing you and telling you who he is. But anyway, yeah, this is just a quick little comic book that I did. You have both options, and then just have fun, get creative with it, and just do your best. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful, and I'm sort of interested in seeing what you all create. So good luck.